Hello and welcome to another Wizard Wenzel YGO video. Here I have a deck profile for the Adventure Dragon Link deck that I was playing for various side events in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Remote Duel Extravaganza. I played 8 events and I was able to win the Win-A-Mat in one of them. Overall, I think the deck performed really well. For any of those losses, it is, like, all these events for the side events are just 8-person single elimination, so you have to win 3 rounds in a row to be able to win. So there was times where I made top 4, made it to finals, but, like, in smaller tournaments, it is difficult because it's all it takes your opponent to draw, like, the one lucky card that they wouldn't be able to replicate that success over, like, a 8-10 round event. But still, I'm not upset. I'm happy I won some mats. Was able to redeem prize wall tickets. I'll show all that stuff off when it arrives. So let's get into the deck profile. So we're playing 44 cards. It's very similar to one of the top 32 lists from Nationals last weekend, except I added like 2 cards. So let's get into it. For the Rocket package, we're playing 2 Tracer, Recharger, Synchron, Abs Router, 3 Quick Launch. The reason I dropped down to 2 Tracer instead of 3 is now that this list is not playing Chaos Space, there's no way to recover your Striker Dragon once it goes to graveyard. So I think top decking away to a level 4 lower dragon past turn 1 isn't as important because you're not doing the Striker Recharger play nearly as often because of that. Next, we'll get into the Adventure package. So it's standard 10 card package, so 3 Enchantress, 1 Griffin, 3 Right, 1 Fateful, 1 Dracoback, and the Foolish Burial. So, pretty standard ratios. I feel that in a deck, if I was playing 60, yeah, I consider maybe the second Fateful Venture, the second Dracoback. I've seen interesting discussion about the second Dracoback for being able to out the Mystic Mine. But I would wait until I was playing a build that's playing Magician's Souls and Illusion of Chaos, which I'm just waiting for my display of Legendary Duel Season 3 to get here to hopefully get some copies of Magician's Souls. Then we're playing the Punk package in lieu of Chaos Space and the Dragons. The reason I swapped over to this, for the first All of Fridays events, which I played about 5, I was playing with Chaos Space and the White Dragon, Black Dragon. They're just not as good anymore. If one of them was a tuner, I think it'd be a lot better, but unfortunately it's 2 monsters, so you have to get to like Romulus, Ravine, Dump, Boot, Summon to be able to get Halki Fibrax. I'd rather just get a combo that gets me to Chaos Ruler plus Halki Fibrax off of 1 card. So, just small package though. We're playing the Xiamen, the Foxy Tune, the Deer Note, and the triple E-Telly. So E-Telly as well is pretty awesome for being chainable quick play, so you can use it on your opponent's turn. I do play the 1 Ghost Ogre as additional interruption, so if you draw multiple of these, it's not the end of the world. It still gets an interruption that will play through your opponent's Forbidden Droplet or Dark Ruler no more. And then we get into the 1-of monsters. You got the 2 Rose Dragons, which I love Rox Rose. If you brick and you open Rox Rose, nothing else, there's still Heretic Seal. You just normal summon it, add the Basil Rose Shoot, and then link off into Striker Dragon, Basil Rose Shoot, bring it back, Heretic Seal. So, interesting utility there. I play the 1 Destrudo. Just another target for Dragon Ravine if you've already sent Abs Router or you don't need to add a rocket to hand. As well, if you do open it in starting hand, it is a really easy discard off Fateful Venture if you want to hold the Dracoback. And then the Fairy Tale Snow for dumping off Shooting Riser. And then we get into the going second cards. So we have 1 Ogre for the E-Telly as well. Drawing it isn't that bad. Or getting it off Chaos Ruler, because Adventure is pretty popular again. So it's good to be able to hit the Fateful Venture for that for sure. Triple Ash, Triple Veiler, Triple Nibiru. A lot of combo decks still, so Nibiru's awesome. Opening Nibiru plus another hand trap is just beautiful. Even if you get sort of what you think is not as good a combination, like Nib Ash, can do crazy amount of work. Like, what I was doing is, I was playing Adventure mirror matches. I would Ash the Fateful Venture effect to add the monster, And then once they get to like Hulk effects, summon Red Rose, so they have like Hulk, Red Rose, and Token, that's when I activate the Nibiru. And there's like very little follow up that they would have at that point. Then for going second cards, forgot to mention, we got the 2 Forbidden Droplet. It's really the only thing I modified in this list. I'm so iffy on it. There's times that I really liked having Droplet. There's times that it was an easy side out for Dark Ruler no more. But yeah, in the future, I think I would replace these with a copy of Magician's Souls and Illusion of Chaos. Then for the last spell 1-ofs, you got the field spells. You have the Basil Rose Shoot, and then the Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave, like you might think, oh, it's only a 1-of, but like if you have it, like it's so crazy resolved. There's so many good things you can do, not only to stop hand trap, but even just to set it on your opponent's turn and just banish something from their graveyard and negate effects can be crucial to winning the game. So that's the main deck. So I'm going to get into extra deck now. So we play the 4 synchros. So you have Shooting Riser, Savage, Chaos Ruler, Baron. I stopped playing Hot Red to make room for Appaloosa. So once I get into the links, I'll get more of that deal. But I feel like Hot Red, like Savage, does what it does. Basically. Except it doesn't play around Dark Ruler, but you need to open like very specific, like either able to hold the Basil Rose Shoot, or you have the Quick Launch or the E-Telly to be able to play around the Dark Ruler or the droplets with it. So I didn't think it was that worth it. For links, Striker, Guard Dragon Pisty, or link 1s. You have Romulus, Seals, link 2s. Like I talked about the Rocks Rose, I like Seals a lot as well. I was liking it a lot when I would go into like Triple Burst Pisty. They would Veiler imperm the Pisty, and then I just turn them into a Seals and still have an interruption on their turn. Then I have Halki Fibrax and IP Masquerena. IP Masquerena I think plays really well with Fairy Tale Snow. What I was doing, the theory with Appaloosa was I'd have Borland, and then maybe Baron de Fleur. I'd have IP and then Stonegrave, so it'd be like Snow, flip something face down. They continue to play Borland, some back, and they still continue to play IP Masquerena, use the Rocket I summon back, the Fairy Tale Snow, and the IP to make a 3-mana Appaloosa. So that came up once. Really appreciated it. As well, you can get IP, you can go into Unicorn as well. So for link 3s, Triple Burst Unicorn. I think Triple Burst at this point is really mandatory, because if you have to use Striker Dragon to start your combo, then you're not making the Pisty arrows without it. So, and then Unicorn is just good utility card. Before going to access code, being able to spin away the last problematic card is really good. Then for the link 4s, Appaloosa access code. What I think Appaloosa also really helps you do, if you have the extenders, they're going to think that you're going for like a triple burst Pisty play. But instead of that, like if you have like the Hulk, you bring back, let's say, Chaos Ruler, and you have another monster, like Dragon, so let's say like Rocket Synchron. You just use those 3, go on Appaloosa. You have the extender, you make Pisty under Appaloosa, and then you're not getting hit by Nib. Then last extra strike card is Borland. I think Borland is really good. It either will stop a deck completely, because they can't play around it, or if they have something like Draco back, it forces the Draco back. It forces really awkward lines for them to out the Borland before it can start generating more and more advantage. So now I'm going to get in side deck. So side deck, I didn't really tailor it to like the 3-round quick events, but I'll let you know which cards I think are good, which ones are not. So for the monsters, we got Token Collector. I think the 1-up for Sword Soul is needed. It's like one of those, like if I lose game 1 or I lose game 2 and I'm going first in game 2 or game 3, replace Snow with this against Sword Soul so that I'm able to just press the like I win button so that we can get into game 3, or you can win the match. 2 Droll. I'm so iffy on Droll. I'm so iffy. It just feels like I'm not opening it enough when I need it, and then it's so bad as 6 draw. So I'm unsure what I want to change it for, but yeah. Droll, we'll see how it fares in the next format. I haven't really looked too much at Power of the Elements that much, so we'll see how it fares at that point. I'd probably swap that out. Triple Dark Ruler. I think Dark Ruler is really good against a lot of the Adventure Punk decks, or Punk Therion, or anything else like Dragon Link Mirror. So I think it's really useful because it's either you get shut off their field, and then they're left with like what, like Fairy Tale Snow Engrave, which you can play around, or you force them to like make awkward plays to be able to negate it. And we're playing the 3 Twin Twister and the Red Reboot. I feel like you have to respect Floodgates. Like, you're going second against Sword Soul, even. These usually come in. At minimum, like 2 Twister and a Reboot, depending on what else I feel I need to side in. Because, like, 1 anti-spell at the wrong time, especially because you're playing Adventure Package, or 1 Rivalry at the wrong time could completely stop your turn. And then the last cards we're playing the 2 anti-spell and the 3 dimensional barrier. I really like anti-spell. I think it's one of those things, like, yeah, it sucks when it's up on your turn, but you can set up right that you're just able to, like, pop it with Tracer, banish it with Fairy Tale Snow. Like, there's ways to get it off the field for when you need to play turn 3 and win. And then dimensional barrier, it's one of those, similar to what I was saying for Token Collector. It's one of those against Despia, Sword Soul, like decks like that. You side it in when you have to go first after you're on game 2 or game 3 because you just lost. And then it's your way to make sure that if you draw it, you flip the I win button and then you move on to next game. So that's the deck that I played. If you have any suggestions, recommendations, I know the format, we don't really have any other events. I think there's some like regionals and like, but I won't be able to attend any of them until Power of the Elements launches. But once Power of the Elements launches, I'm unsure what the direction for Dragon Link is going to be at that point. Or it's just you know, give it 3 months break, and then when the Bisted cards come out in Darkwing Blast, we bring it back and we dominate the competition again. So that's all I have for this video. If you like this deck profile, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.